For months, we honestly didn't know what was true. We didn't know who to believe. We didn't know what was actually happening inside of our own home. And then one day, the truth came out, but it didn't fix anything. If anything, it honestly made things worse. Because after the accusation was made, everything honestly felt like it slowed down in time. And not in a peaceful way, but in a heavy way. You know, my stepdad had to leave the house. There were a lot of interviews, there were a lot of meetings, and there were a lot of people getting involved. And for weeks, it felt like we were just waiting. Waiting for answers, waiting for someone to tell us what was real. And meanwhile, life kept going. School, work, daily routines. But nothing about all of that actually felt normal. Because when something like that just gets dropped into your life, it doesn't just stay contained. It spreads and affects everything around you. And I remember sitting in the car going back and forth to these meetings and not really being told that much. Just sitting there thinking, trying to piece together the situation as best as I could together in my head. Asking myself questions that I didn't even have the answers to. Like, what if it is true? What if it's not? What does that mean for all of us? And the hardest part is no one could give me clarity. So what I did what I had to learn to do already. I kept it inside. Then one night, my mom came downstairs. She sat me down and told me that they had figured out the situation. The accusation was a lie, and it was a serious one. And it was something that could have honestly destroyed everything, and it almost did. And I remember sitting there not feeling relief the way that I thought I would. Because, yeah, in truth, one question got answered, but now there was 100 more. Why would somebody do that? How do you come back from something like that? And what happens to a family after that line gets crossed? And after that, the house never did quite go back to normal. And like I mentioned before, if anything, it got worse. The entire trust system was gone. The energy was different. Everything felt broken, even if nobody was actually saying it out loud. And we stopped doing the things we used to do. We stopped showing up in the same way. And I honestly felt it more than ever, because all of that anger that I had been holding in, it started growing and getting a lot louder. Because now it just wasn't about me anymore. It was about everything. And looking back now, that moment didn't just change our family. It honestly changed me too. It changed the way that I saw people. It changed the way that I handled emotions. And it changed the way that I carried things without talking about them. And I didn't realize it back then, but I was starting to build something inside of me that would take a very long time to undo.